how we are to handle ourselves if there would be another lockdown and indeed another issues. But one thing that I'm grateful for is that I have mentioned to, I mean, I've managed to get a few of my military staff to go back to the office. Of course, there are challenges in terms of, you know, how they are to handle themselves, which means that challenge now lies on me to take them through. And this teaching will actually help me to teach them as to how they are to handle themselves going forward. Because emotionally, even though people are going back to work, you can see that they are actually not, you know, themselves. And therefore, it means one has got to take them through so that they finally get to the level at which they are feeling, or at least they are understanding as to what is going to happen going forward. Because one thing, it's the fact that you can no longer do things the way that you used to do, and this has got a great impact on the staff. I mean, currently you can see that people are not even quite sure that come the state of emergency, are they going to be able to be continuing working? And those are some of the things that one has got to take the staff through, so that they understand that while we are coming back, we cannot really assure them that things are going to work out the same way that they did. And one thing is that, as you were mentioning the other day, there's quite a lot that is changing in the workplace. You can see that probably new jobs are going to come up. I mean, I was just listening to the issue of the need for SHI, and this is a profession that has never been considered very serious, especially in our own businesses. But now it has suddenly risen to a very high level of awareness that we have to be aware that we need such people. I'm also grateful that with the lifting of restrictions, today we're allowed, or starting from yesterday, we're actually allowed to take a walk around our neighborhood. I then realized how, you know, certain things that we take for granted. I just felt, you know, so grateful that I can walk around, see the trees, see my neighbors' gates all closed. And I'm also grateful to my neighbors as well, that when I walked around, I actually realized everybody is actually taking this lockdown very seriously. Gates are closed. There's a level of quietness around. Even those who are walking around, they observe the health protocol of walking around with masks. So it's really a time of acknowledging that things have changed, but we have to continue being grateful, and therefore I'm very grateful to you, Coach. Thank you very much.
You are most welcome. Yeah, I think this is thank you for seeing, you know, for seeing the value of you know, what I've been doing for this almost past 2 months, you know. But it is also a challenge to all of you here to step up into the leadership role, you know, because we are all leaders, and you wouldn't be here in my community if you were not a leader and you did not you know, appreciate the fact that you are here for a reason, and you are supposed to add value to the people who are around you. So it's going to challenge you to step into the leadership you know, role, and also pay it forward, pass it forward, and support others who did not have the opportunity to go through this you know, this transition that we have gone through. Because imagine if someone just knocked off, you know, on end of March, and they went home and all they did was watch TV, watch the scary news on TV, and then do all the household chores, and they were not even open to the outside world. And all of a sudden now it's like they're coming out from a home, you know, they're coming out from a cave, from something. So they need support to transition as well. look at the bigger picture, to shift their mindset, you know, from what they've been used to this new normal that we are embarking into. And this is challenging everyone who is here, you know, who's in this community, to really take the next step and do something about it, you know, pass it forward. You may not just do it exactly the way I do it, but it depends on what you have been learning throughout this time, what spoke most to you, what made a huge impact in your life, and share it in the best way that you can. It could be in a meeting, where you call a meeting, you know, every day before your employees start at work, and you talk to them about it. You ask them, how do they feel, you know, and take them from there. So it's really, you know, a challenge to all of you to take it up and see how far you can go with it. Thank you so much, Thembi, for bringing that up. All right, anyone who is ready, who wants to say something before we bring in our guest? Okay, I think she's here on the call, so let me just see if I can bring her in. All right. Okay. Hi, Wame, can you hear me?
Yes, coach.
Okay, let me try and bring you into. Bring you into. Okay. All right, Wame, can you bring your camera on? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome, Game Changers. Our guest is here. Welcome, Wame. It's a pleasure to have you again today here in this community, where we continue from where we left yesterday, and get to hear from your family members about what actually transpired. So how are you this morning?
Fine, and you, coach? Good morning, Game Changers.
I'm good. Thank you very much. Okay, Game Changers, we have Wame here, you know, on the call, and just for the sake of those who were not here or who were not able to listen to Wame's, you know, session yesterday, the replay, I just want to maybe reiterate that Wame she's a business consultant. She is a trainer and a certified life coach. She spent her entire life behind the scenes as an accountant, you know, doing accounting and finance. But life challenged her to move behind the scenes and get to the forefront. She went on a quest of reinventing herself. She was the third cohort of our Ignite Your Spark program. Actually, the first one that we did in Francistown in 2017. And through that, she ended up deciding that she wants to focus on running her own business, and she wanted to certify as a life coach. So those are the things that she did from doing Ignite Your Spark. So she started her own business where she's doing consulting. She's also a company secretary. Then she also enrolled for a program to certify as a life coach, which she also did and finished. So I've had the honor of, coaching her through the Ignite Your Spark program. And she's also one of those people that when she finished, she opted for a one-on-one coaching, 6 months coaching with me. So I also then coached her on a, much deeper level where I was helping her look through both her life and setting up her business at the same time. And what's interesting with her is that when she went through this journey, she didn't leave the family members untouched, so they were impacted by her journey. And today we are going to bring them here so that they can, give us their perspective of what they thought was going on and where they are, right now. So if there is anyone who wants to maybe comment or ask Wame something regarding what she shared yesterday, I'll be glad to give you the opportunity to do that. Otherwise, I will just continue and make sure that I bring the family members in. So how are you? How are they? Are they ready?
They are fine. I think they are ready now. They are fine, coach.
They are ready for this. And for some of you who were not here yesterday, it was a very interesting, process to coach Wame, because she comes from a very strong Christian background, and she is married to a pastor. So even as I started coaching her, I could see that she has a lot of conditioning. So I really had to work to help break the layers. And sometimes when she was like impatient, I said, Wame, you have been conditioned for more than 30 years. So you can't take 1 year to undo 30 years of conditioning. So just be gentle with yourself and peel one layer, at a time. So this is a message that speaks to a lot of us who have been conditioned. Some of us are not conditioned, through maybe religion or Christianity, but we do have various conditionings from our upbringing, that we are still holding on to, but they are holding us back from unleashing our true potential. And the first step to doing that is really to disrupt the status quo and break some of those patterns, and change your belief system and let go of conditionings and belief systems that no longer serves you. So you need to interrogate your belief system, interrogate your conditioning, that it worked for me back then. But the question is it serving me right now? Like most of the things were meant to protect us, the things that our parents did. But do we still need that protection? How is that protection actually limiting you? So that's where you need to now step in and interrogate some of these belief systems, some of these conditioning, some of these patterns that we have just adopted because we saw people are doing them. But deep down, when we go to bed, we know that that's not what we want. We know that that's not who we are. So that's why we end up living, all these different lives where Wame shared that there were three, she was serving 3 personalities in one, the Wame at work, the Wame at church, and the Wame at home. So it takes an emotional toll on you every time when you are not being authentic. Every time when you are pretending, it drains your energy and it limits your productivity. So you want to really look at yourself and question yourself, where do you find yourself behaving like that? So, but anyway, let me not waste time. I'm gonna just take Wame a little bit back before I call Mr. Mothibi, because yesterday she wasn't very clear at all. That one of the challenges that I saw was that she was going through a transition, but the people at home were not yet at the level where she was. So I knew there was going to be that friction, there was going to be that discomfort. And I just wanted to briefly just share how did she handle that transition at home, that change that she was going through, and any of the discomfort that came forth.
Thank you, Coach. My apology again about the yesterday's background noise. I tried to listen to the recording. It's really too bad. My apology for that. It was not easy to take my family on board. As I said yesterday, you really walked me through to understand that this change is going to affect all areas of my life. Therefore, I should be patient with myself. I should also be patient with them. And again, I should not push them to do what's in my heart or what I want to do. Therefore, I decided to go out as Wame. I decided to go out so that they may understand me. I said to do things now in a different thing, in a different way. Because one thing that I learned about coaching, it automatically assists you or help you to change, to have that mind change or mindset change. Your mind is going to be changed. The more your mind is being affected, all areas of life, the way you are communicating with them, the way you are bringing them on board with the family issues, the way now you are showing them that compassion, that love, openly from the depth of your heart, it shows them that really this person has changed. And this person now is even open to changes, because I even went to the extent of just asking them for it. How do you see me now? So that they may be open. Because sometimes people will look at them and they say, what will change? But I went to that extent for them just to sit down and say, this is what I'm seeing, Mama, now in you. And Mr. Mothibi, anything, now this is what I see now. If you could have been like this for a long time, because as you know, as women, we have a very big impact in the family atmosphere. The moment there's a crack in a woman in the house, the family is being affected. Therefore, this coach really helped me to be calm, to accept the change as it was coming out. Therefore, it was easy for them now to get through, or to accept, or to go to be on board now, and to accept this new Wame that is coming up, this change that is coming up.
Okay.
Through being patient, through interacting with them, openly telling them where I want to go, my new path, made it easy for them to get along.
Thank you very much. So I'm glad the family took it easier to get on board. But what about other people? What about the other church members, the people around you? What did you get?
Same way. It is just to accepting yourself now, and accepting that it's not everyone is going to accept you. It's not going to accept the new you. You know that we are living in this world that has its own expectations. And I knew that it was not going to be simple for each, and even in my closest friend, I knew that I'm going to lose some and I'm going to gain some. And really what happened, I lose some of my friends, I lose some of my closer people, but I gained some that are now able to walk with me, to encourage me, to even to appreciate what I'm doing, and they're also getting along. One that we should be aware is that a change, it requires you to be committed and to accept that I'm going to lose some, I'm going to gain some.
Okay. Yeah, normally they say that when you are looking at growth, personal growth, don't look at what are you going to gain. They say look at what are you going to lose. Mm-hmm. Because most of the time what you are going to lose is what will hold you back. And how was it, the new one at church?
The new one at church is just okay, because one thing that I learned, that there were some people who were like that old Wame in the church. The more I went out, I saw that, yes, this character or this Wame has impacted a lot of people, or has prevented a lot of people to be what they want to. Most especially as leaders, we are leading a lot of people with different characters who are coming from different environments, but the way they look at us, but they take us, could they automatically, this is the life, this is how we have to go, not knowing that, hey, or fake thing, which means that as leaders, our lives or for us to go out and be the true, the real us, it really had a great impact, and it's really impacting a lot of people. They have to go through that transition of accepting the new person that is coming out.
So what we are saying is that your whole reinvention actually helps set a lot of people free, you know, to be themselves, to honor who they are.
Yes.
All right. Okay. At this time, I want to bring in Dr. Mothibi and just ask her a few questions, you know. So if you can just move and ask him to just sit where you are sitting there. Morning, Dr. Mothibi. How are you?
I'm fine, Coach.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much, and me too.
I hear that you have been operating behind the scenes, you know, attending sessions, watching, listening.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's true.
Thank you.
That's the only way. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we had this opportunity to bring Wame in the community so that she can share her journey, that other people can learn from her journey. And as we were talking, you know, she kept on saying, this new Wame is actually a better human being that even my family members are happy about. So then we just about how you can come on board and we engage with you to hear it directly from the horse's mouth. So I just want to take you back when Wame started reinventing herself in early, I think it was early 2016, because I met her, I think that was October 2016. Yeah. So, and she expressed interest to join one of my coaching programs. So what was your thinking when she started doing this? What came into your mind when she started doing this? What did you think about it?
Yeah. It was a really challenge. It was tough on me. I didn't know what she was trying to do. Because but I just kept quiet. But I was not
comfortable.
Comfortable.
But what was making you uncomfortable? She wasn't changing you. She was just changing herself.
She was changing herself. Problem is that the time when I married her, you know, I told her that, you know, I don't like this. You know, I'm like a consecutive man. You know, I was born again during that time when I was taught a very tough faith, a very strong faith, I can say, and I didn't want to leave that. You know, I was very consecutive.
Yeah.
And for that matter, a pastor, a man of God, and you know, because I believe my wife is a role model to all women in the church, and you know, I wanted her to behave like this and to put on this kind of clothes, you know. The time I married her, I didn't allow her to put on earrings.
Really?
Yeah, she was supposed to put on long dress, and even making her just like that, you know, it was a problem.
So when did you start when did you start easing up and embracing the change that was going through? What that made you become receptive and said, okay, let me see where this is going to end?
I realized that now my wife has changed, because, you know, she was a problem to us. He was giving us a problem in the family. He was always, you know, blaming us and, you know, shifting, complaining, and just like that. And but I realized that, you know, these things that she's attending, at least, you know, she's changing. She's a changed person, and now that's why now I ended up saying, oh no, maybe I just want to go and see what's happening.
Okay, so you didn't realize that all along you were creating a monster for yourself when you were saying that you were troublesome, but you are the one who actually conditioned her to become that person who was giving you. Do you realize that?
Yeah. Sure. Really, I was the one who.
Because when someone is not happy and they are doing things that they don't want, they kind of, I mean, they become angry, they become bitter. That's how they are reacting to what's going on.
Yeah.
Confront it. It means they're just going to be in this foul mood, you know, angry, jitty, and down they know what they want, but outside they can't really do it.
Yeah.
They can't really do it. So at least you could see that the new one was a better human being and wife than the old one that you had.
Yeah. No, she brought a lot of changes in us. Even me personally, you know, I used to pray a lot and believe God, fasting for some days, believing God for these things, but I never achieved all those things. But at the time, when he introduced all these coaching styles to me, you know, this kind of life, you know, I started to read and understand Bible in another way. And I started to understand theology that I studied in a very wonderful way. And I started to practice that and, you know, apply that in my life. And I saw a result, and I started to change, and, you know, I started to grow, and, you know, I started to fly and prosper, and I started to be a new person. I started to move with another dimension, another anointing. And, you know, I became apostle with anointing, and, you know, I moved, and I moved with power like never before. And yeah.
Okay, thank you. But I want you to be very specific. So what I hear you saying is that you know, you were praying, you were fasting, doing everything, but you are not taking the right action.
Sure.
You were just hoping that praying and fasting, praying many hours will bring miracles.
Yeah. Sure, we never, you know, took a radical step. We didn't want to risk, you know, we were just being holy, just like that, and believing God and
Amen.
whatever, but now when he started to introduce these things to me, and the time I came back from Chanoha, I'm moving like, you know, I'm going far.
Thank you.
Because of her.
Yeah, thank you very much. Because most people think I'm not born again. I'm not a Christian enough. And I always say that, you know what? I'm born again. I'm highly spiritual, but I'm an awakened Christian. So I say I'm an awakened Christian, and I've given myself time to study the word, because I also teach the word. And I've realized that everything that's in the Bible needs to be accompanied by action. But
Sure.
But what I see missing, you know, in the gospel, in the new church now, what's going on is the action part. The action.
Sure.
That
yeah.
And how we think that everything is going to be solved by prayer. You know, everything can be solved by prayer. Prayer is accompanied by action. But just fasting and praying without taking any corresponding action, it's not going to help you. Which is why coaching and really prayer, this is more or less the same.
Yeah.
that with Christianity and spirituality and religion, there is no corresponding action. But in coaching, I tell my clients that there's no point to have an insight, to have an awareness, and not act on the awareness. You know, so that is where you are just hoping that a miracle is going to fall on your lap. But if you to make the miracle happen, you are a large part of the miracle happening. So the gift of that miracle, but you are not bringing yourself into the miracle and thinking someone is going to land it on your lap, then it's not gonna happen. So thank you so much for sharing that and so honestly and so vulnerably, because most of the time when I say that, I know that I lose a lot of clients, I lose a lot of followers, because they think somehow I am I'm not a Christian, I'm not spiritual enough for their liking, because they want me to believe in something that I know are not going to work, because I haven't seen it working for anyone, you know, anyway. And because I'm even a coach, I know just not going to work, just to keep on praying every day and fasting without taking corresponding action. So thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, so let's talk about the Renew retreat in January. Like you are saying, you were now curious to go and see this woman. It's very interesting, because every time when I'm coaching people, I keep on telling them, don't keep on coaching me at home, because your spouses are going to hate me before they know me. Your spouses are going to think I'm the one changing you, but I'm not. I'm just facilitating the process. The person is the one who is deciding what needs to change in their lives, and they are choosing what they are changing. It's never really about me. I'm just a vessel. I'm the container. I create a container for people to change, but I'm not the one telling them do this and don't do this. That in a group of 20 people, they all achieve, they all change, but in different ways, because coaching meets you exactly where you are. And so it means that where you are and where Wame is, where to me is, there are different places. But when it meets everyone where they are and they act on it, they actually get results that move them from one level to the next level. So because you were curious, you ended up coming to the retreat in 2018. And initially, you were just going to accompany Wame. You were not going to become a part of the retreat. But you ended up attending, you know, after we invited you to the opening session. And after that, you ended up, I gave you the option that if you are comfortable, you can sit through, you know, the entire retreat, and you opted to do that. So how did that feel? What gave you the courage to sit in through? And that was the largest retreat I've had. We're about 22 or 23. So, and you were the only man amongst all those women. So what really gave you the courage, you know, to be able to swallow your pride and stay through those, you know, 4 days?
You know, what gave me the courage is the change that I saw in my wife, and the impact that I experienced because of her. Now I realized that I have been missing this kind of thing that Lecha is having in my ministry, in my life, personal life, and in my ministry. I've been missing.
Okay. I don't know if it's me there.
What this lady is having for me.
Okay, I think we lost it there. So can you go back a little bit when you said you realized that you were missing something?
Yeah. No, you know, I managed to go to Chanucha just because of the change that I saw in my wife and the impact that she brought in me. Now I said, no, I have to go to Chanucha and see this lady, because because this lady has got something that I was missing in my life, personally, in my life and in my ministry. I've been missing this kind of thing, because I can see that this thing, as I apply it in my life, it is working for me. It is working for me personally, and it is working for my ministry. And now that's why I had to humble myself and attend that.
Okay. So what would you say was your aha moment at the retreat? What was the highlight of the retreat for you?
You know, that time, ready, re kwala di plan mona re go kwala mo matshelong a rona re kana di objectives or the goals or whatever tsone dilo tse ke tsone tse le gore tota they
I think just to guide you. I think I remember one of the highlights was when you were so vulnerable enough. You said you looked at yourself, you realized that you have neglected yourself, something like that, and you were very handsome, and now you
okay. Yeah, no, yeah. That's the most important part that I have learned from Chanocha. You know, I realized that I missed something for a long time now. From Chanocha, I started to take care of myself. You know, to love myself more than ever, and I started even to lose weight like never before, and I get in shape, and but I'm still working on that, and I'm getting more handsome like I used to be.
Yeah. Yes, you can continue.
Yeah. No, even this time those tea we were drinking in Chanocha, my wife used to drink this. I saw different colors of packets, but now they're mine. Every day I'm drinking. That's my tea. That's my food, and I'm enjoying it. And they're working for me.
Yeah.
And this thing has brought, an impact in my ministry, a change in my ministry, and I'm moving with a different angle, with a different anointing because of.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing that. Because ever since I started hosting retreats and coaching, there are very few men who have actually done Ignite Your Spark. I think there are about 12 or 14, because every year there's like one person doing that, and there are about 5 men who have attended the retreats. And most of the time, people feel like men, these are just women's things. Men don't need them. And even some women, like yesterday during the session, one woman said, "No, coach, you don't need to bring men to the retreat." And I said, you know what? I've just allowed, I've allowed the source, I've allowed the universe, God, to guide me. And most of the time make these decisions where when someone is saying, okay, there's a man who wants to come to the retreat, I said, okay, if they really want to, let them come. And what I've learned over the years is that we are all the same. We are all the same. We have the same needs. We have the same challenges, and we all need support, regardless of whether you are a man or you are a woman. And for me, when you said that you realize that you have neglected yourself, you were very handsome when you met your wife, but now you have allowed yourself to become very, overweight and all of those things. So you are going to start. That really hit a chord for me to really say that, you know what, self-love and growth and taking care of ourselves, I think it's a human need, it's a human desire that we kind of shut off at one point in our lives, when life happens and we lose that connection. So once you bring the connection back in someone's life, even if it's a man, they lighten up, you start really seeing them, coming up. And I love the losing weight issue, because I remember I saw one of your videos when you were skipping this past week, and I laughed. I remembered at the retreat when the exercises were getting very tough, and the following day you didn't come, and you said you were not well. So I just laughed and told Wame that, it's nothing like she's not well. The exercise is taking a toll, because if you have not been exercising before and all of a sudden you get this exercise, it challenges the body to stretch. So I could see that the exercises and the running have stretched you. So the following day you did not come, and the other day you came. So now I saw you skippy. I said, wow, right. Now she's getting the hang of this. So okay, let's take us back to, I know that you used to be a full-time pastor, pastoring a church, but then you transitioned and kind of took a step back. But what I heard from Wame is that because when I was coaching Wame one-on-one, Wame was not following through some of the things that she wanted to do. She was not doing them on time. And I said, okay, what's going on? And Wame said, Lecha, you have now you have created a problem for me now, because ever since the retreat now, Dr. Mothibi is on fire. He's on fire. Now I've stopped doing my things. Now I'm helping him to put, his vision, into reality. So she told me that she's busy. Now she's putting up a training where she's training, church leaders, So can you take us through that? How did that start, and how is that going? I know last year you've been all over the world. You went to Namibia, you went to some, I think, is it East Africa,
Yeah, previously, Ghana, before you met my wife, I was a pastor, a man of God without vision, I can say. I was struggling to arrive, to reach my goals, but after my wife changed, she helped. She brought that impact in my life, and she helped me in my ministry to put things in order, and she helped me a lot. The company that she registered, my ministry is working under that company. I bit by bit, I started to advertise the ministry, and 2017 I registered. 2018 I became an affiliate with another worldwide association body. In 2019 we introduced another different courses that attracted a lot, and we started to introduce. We introduced a lot of program that attracted pastors, and the ministry grew. And I started to. I even went abroad. I joined other pastors, and I was taken into other, appointed and given other responsibilities worldwide, international. And, the ministry grew just like that. And, even now I'm busy. The ministry is now, I've introduced online courses, and it is attracting a lot of church leaders, more especially during lockdown. I was busy. I'm busy. I'm working at home, and it is doing very well. It is doing very well.
Wow.
Very well.
Wow. And looking at your life, 3 years back, do you think you'd be sitting here, connecting via technology and teaching other people via technology?
Yeah. Tota. No. Tota nka be ke le ko morago, tota nka be ile gore tota nka be ile gore gongwe nka be ke togetse yana ministry, ke togetse se ke ne ke batla go se dira.
O le farmer.
Yeah. This coaching really helped me a lot. Helped my ministry.
It helped you, but you were receiving it, you were receiving it, you know, from behind the scenes in kind, or is it by osmosis?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I think one of the reasons why we fear change and all of these things is what will people say, you know, is what will other people say when we change, when we start doing things differently. And you being an influential pastor, playing a very important role in other people's life, what did this change that your wife went through, how was it perceived, you know, in your circle of influence? And did you have to defend her or defend some of the actions that she was actually taking?
You know, you know what, I realized that most of the people were, you know, my wife became a role model in the church. Most ladies, you know, they appreciated the way she was doing, the style she was doing, everything. They copied. They, she became a role model, and they started to be open. And you know, I realized that for her, more especially ladies, you know, they just want to prosper, just want to grow, to look smart and just like that. I realized that, you know, then most ladies, they started to open and they shared their problems with her, and just like that, they grew.
Okay. Yeah, and with her, you were there at the retreat when we were doing that photo shoot. Were you seeing some of the clothes that she was wearing there for the first time? You know, I think she wore some shorts. She wore that short, nice dress.
I was not comfortable with that, but as the time goes on, because you know I'm a traditional man, you know I am a very conservative man. I look back in our tradition, and I realized that, you know, our tradition, our African tradition, they didn't cover their body completely, but you know, I started to look back and apply this in my life, and say no, but
thank you very much for
I was not comfortable.
Yeah, I know, because she told me also that some of those clothes you didn't even know that she had them, because she has never worn them at home when you were there. So she'd wear them when she's just alone and no one is at home, and then when people come, she'd put them away and go back to the long ones that are hiding everything. So that could have been that. I think for me, that is the reason that I've been using. I was raised by my grandparents, and my grandfather was very strict. Even when I was grown up like this, he kept on saying, you keep on wearing pants, you keep on wearing short pants. And one day I just sat them down and I said, you know what, I want you to tell me the truth. What did people wear during your time? I know there were, you know, you didn't have enough clothes. What were people wearing? I challenged them. I said, my grandparents, I said, you guys were just covering the men were just covering the front part, and the buttocks were just in the open. And the women were just covering just the front and the back, but they were wearing very, very short things. So now who came and conditioned you to start wearing these long things? You actually copied someone, and now you are imposing those things that you copied on us. So for me, I said, for me, I'm just going to wear as short as I want. As long as I'm comfortable, I don't know, I don't care who's not comfortable, it's none of my business, but I'm gonna wear short things. If it has to be very, very short, I'll still wear. So that's how I did it. My husband found me like that. He was actually telling my parents that what his attention with me was my legs when I was wearing very, very short pants, you know, and walking across there. She looked at the legs and said, wow. So now I said, now you want my husband to go away so that I start covering my going to be excited by other people who are wearing short things there. So I'm glad that at least someone is seeing the light of how this is really a challenge, and it's oppressing. It's actually oppression on the part of women. So yeah, that's an interesting one out there. Anyway, so what message can you just share, with the women who are here? Because there are very few men who are in this community, as you know that men don't actually want to stretch and do these things, but there are women here. What advice can you give them, when they are dealing with their spouses? How can they support their spouses with the awareness that they are getting here?
I just want to say more especially to men that whenever they realize that you realize that your spouse has joined this kind of thing, you must be happy, rejoice, because this is now the beginning of happiness and joy in your family. This is now the beginning of happiness and joy in your family. And I would like to encourage each and everyone that, they have to make use of this opportunity and tap a lot from you. Because you are sent by God, you are saving your gift. God is working through you. You are saving your gift. We have to make use of this opportunity while you are still alive. We don't know what will happen next year about you. Maybe you disappear, you die, or what. No, I'm sorry to say that, but
no, it's reality. It's reality. We are
have to
forever.
Make use of this opportunity and work with you and tap a lot from you, because you are blessed. You are sent by God. You are a messenger of God. You are saving your gift. God is working through you, because I have seen it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I know. Even at the retreat, I really challenged you. I challenged you to get out and exercise. When you wanted to behave like you are in a vacation and you wanted to keep on sending to me, do me some tea. I said, this is Mr. Mothibi. Everyone is here for themselves, so just stand up and do what you want for yourself. And but how did you feel when you got there and realized that you are not going to be sleeping in the same room with your wife?
It was a little bit, Challenger Retreat challenged me a lot and, brought very good things, an impact in my life. It was really, most of the things, it was, it was a challenge. I was not comfortable of.
Yeah, as much as I allow couples to come together in the retreat, because most of the retreats that I host are not couple retreat. I'm hoping that in the future I'll do a couple retreat, but those are not couple retreats. And even though they are there together, everyone is there for themselves. So I don't announce in advance, but when they get there, that's when I tell them that no, but we are not going to be sleeping together. So this is not a vacation. This is not home. If you are going to sleep together, you are just going to feel like you are at home. And in the evening, you just be talking about your plans at home and things that are not working. So you're not going to get the benefit of the retreat. So that is when we got there. I told one that, you know what, you guys are not going to be sleeping together. This is not a honeymoon. It's not a vacation. So we're going to give you, because you are the only man, we gave you your room. In the other year, there were actually 2 men. So we made them share a room. And their spouses stayed with different people. But anyway, I think there's a question. Is there anyone who has questions for Dr. Mothibi? Okay. Someone is saying, Bunolo is saying, Coach, please ask Doctor why men don't take personal development as a valuable process necessary for advancement of their families and their careers. Why do they think it's a woman's thing? Yeah, I think help us. Maybe we are. Yeah. Why do they think it's a woman's thing? So like
yeah,
like,
that's the ego. Gore kana monna the leader, and don't want to learn from the wife, or from her spouse, from his wife. But this, our partners, our spouse, they are here to help us. We are helpers. They are here to contribute 50-50 in marriage. We have to sometimes, just swallow your ego and listen to your wife and learn a lot from her, because most of the time basadi ba tisa dilo tse le gore tota di isa lelapa go gongwe, di isa family go gongwe. Rona re le banna bitele gore ga re bereke jalo.
Yeah, but I get that the ego is coming in the way. But would you say it's the same reason why men don't want to ask for help? Why they don't think they can go to someone and say, I'm struggling with this, help me. I've been doing this for many years, I'm not getting results. Can you help me? Or there is a personal development seminar, let me enroll and see if I could get help. Because we don't see a lot of men showing up, in these platforms, even though they are open, even though they're not just for women. We talk about leadership. I do a lot of leadership training, leadership conferences, but we still don't get a lot of men saying, how much is the conference? I want to attend.
Yeah, that's a challenge, more especially I can say here in Africa. I believe in Western countries is better. That's the challenge we are facing, more especially in our Christian circle here in Africa, in Botswana. It's we really need change. I don't know what I can say. It's maybe this African tradition contributed a lot in this kind of setup. I don't know what we can do, but we have to respect women. We have to respect the gift that they have. We have to respect whatever the change they want to bring in our families, so that we have to appreciate them and swallow our ego and yeah.
So somehow you feel that our upbringing, the way men have been raised in our culture is what is holding them back.
Yeah.
Men don't cry. Men, you need to figure out everything in the house. You are the head of the, you are the head of the family. Okay, so someone is asking a question and saying, that is not me. That question is not coming from me. I think someone has logged in with my account. That's Umuhulu, I guess. He's saying Hana Lecha, but I didn't type that. Okay. So how is the relationship, in the family now compared to when there was no coaching, in your household?
I know there's a lot of improvement. The relationship has improved. We are enjoying our relationship. We are enjoying life more than before. We are excited, and we just want to share what we are experiencing with other people, what we have learned with others. Like here as a pastor, there are a lot of pastors that I'm working with. I just want to introduce all this kind of things to them and tell them what we are experiencing, what we are enjoying, what happened in our relationship.
Yeah, I gave you a task. I gave you a challenge from the retreat. Every man that I get to opportunity to coach, I give them a challenge that I want you to go out there and make a difference in other people's life. And I always say I'm available to hold your hand, guide you, and help you get started. Because sometimes men need to hear it from another man. If they don't want to hear it from us women, then we need to also do things differently and empower men so that they can go out there and lead other men in the direction where we are going. So I've challenged you to do that. I've challenged you to next year I need to see you doing a retreat and bringing all those other men to the retreat. If it means me going there and holding your hand, helping you structure it, and helping them get out of their comfort zone, I'm willing to do that. Because that ego, I know it needs to be, it doesn't need to be nursed. It just needs to be bruised.
Yeah.
That God has given me to be able to break through that. Another question is saying, ask Dr. Mothibi, that is the implementing that in his community right now, since he's teaching other pastors, and what result is he getting? Okay, there are certain things you are now passing it forward and you are impacting, other pastors. What changes are you seeing now because of the work that you are doing?
I'm impacting a community with a different angle, with a different perspective, with a different anointing. Like this time around, I've got a lot of pastors that I'm working with, mostly by the help and encouragement that I get from my superiors, my executives from USA and Ghana. They are helping me to connect with different kinds of pastors throughout Botswana to make an association that work together, encourage just like that, more especially to encourage themselves to reach out to the community. It is working very well. It is working very well, and it is growing.
Okay, thank you very much. But I think I want to challenge you at a very personal level. What I see happening, in the Christian space is where Christians and people of faith want to make an impact, at a church level, at an organization's level, but while their families are bleeding. So it is where you neglect your family so that you can go and support people at the church. But if you read the Bible properly, they say the foundation of the church is the family. So for me, I want you to take it to the family level and really start building, people from the family level, from the relationships with their kids, the relationship with their spouses, the way they communicate in the household. If they can do that well, then they will serve very well at the church. Because you see a lot of people who wake up in the same house, the pastor and the wife or whoever, and they're not in good terms. They go there and they're singing and dressing and singing all worships, jumping up and down at the church. After church, they go home again. They go back to their cocoons there at home where they are not talking. So for me, I think that is where we need to start it. And I think it is everywhere. Leadership begins with self. We start at the personal level, which is why I keep on saying, even in organizations, they focus on developing their employees at the technical level, at the skill level, but they're not developing them at a personal level. And that is what creates the gap. That is why they're not getting the results. Because unless you are impacting someone at that personal level, then you are not going to get a lot from them in terms of the technical or the skill level. Like what Wame said, once you have a mindset shift, then it's easier to change when your mind has actually changed. Change begins first inside, in the mind before you can even apply it. So for me, I appreciate the impact that you are making at an organizational level, at a community level. But I think you need to go down to the family level. Go down to the family level, because there are still other men that you are associating with who are preventing their wives to be themselves, who are deciding what their wives can wear and what they can't wear, where they can go and where they can't go, who they can talk to and who they can't talk to. That is where I feel, because you have been set free, because you have been awakened, that is your primary role to start doing. So that is where your next impact has to come from. It's a challenge, it's not easy, but because you have gone through it, you can do it. We can't give what we don't have, but once you have it, you can give it. And if you are not giving it, you are being selfish, and you are not being saving, you know, under the capacity at which God has sent you to do it. So I think that is a bigger challenge. The reason why you were impacted as a pastor was for you to make a difference in the priesthood. And it starts at the personal level, it starts at the family level. So that's your challenge.
Yeah, no, again, this, your coaching helped me a lot because, you know, I'm a marriage officer, I'm a marriage counselor now. I realized that I've been missing a lot of things when I was doing premarital and post-marital counseling, you know, but after this coaching, you know, I started, you know, to approach counseling in a different way. You know, I started to counsel couples. There were a lot of things that I was missing, like all those things. But now my counseling has improved now.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. I think this is we've gone really very low, but let's just give Tumi an opportunity to give us her perspective, because you only have one daughter, one child, Tunisa, and I think she's at university right now. Yeah, she's at university right now. So thank you so much for your time. Let's give her an opportunity to give us her perspective. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome. Yeah, that was an exciting and an interesting session from Dr. Mothibi. One of the things that that inspired me about him, that I saw in the retreat, is that she's able to become very vulnerable. He's very honest. You know, if he's uncomfortable, he says, "I'm uncomfortable, but I'm trying. I'm giving myself, you know, the opportunity to learn and also grow." Welcome, Tumi. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Coach. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you. Yes, we had the honor of bringing your mom here yesterday, you know, so that she can share her journey and help people learn from her journey of reinvention and transformation. And I know that when she went through that change, she impacted all of you differently, which is why today we decided to bring all of you on board so that you can give us your perspective. And so let's start. What did you think when you learned that your mom has invested in a coaching program and she was kind of reinventing herself?
I did not know what to expect, especially when it came to my mother, because me and my mom, when I was growing up, we didn't communicate that much. Like my father said, she came off a bit angry and complaining. Sometimes I was very afraid of her. So we're not close at all when growing up. So when she was telling me she was trying something new and reinventing, she was asking what we think about it. It was actually the first time she communicated something to us about what she wants or want to do. So I did not expect what I got at the end or what we received at the end. It was unexpected, honestly.
Okay, but what changes did you start seeing that maybe gave you a clue that maybe something good is gonna come out of her initiative?
The communication, the fact that she was telling us about it and she was asking for opinions, because that has never happened to me before. She was always telling me what to do and what not to do, and I was always afraid of her, so I never felt like I had a say in anything. But the fact that she asked for my opinion, like, I'm doing this and I would love for you to maybe support me and your moral support, it really showed me that we have a promising future. Yes.
Wow. Wow. So how would you really say that impacted you? What difference did that bring in your life that you look back and say, wow, that was a good move, ma'am?
Relief. Honestly, it was relief. Like I said, I was very afraid of her. So honestly, a lot of things I was going through as a child, even at school, I would want to tell my mother, but I was afraid of maybe she'll blame me or anything. And she was always a bit rough around the edges, and I was terrified. Honestly, I was terrified of her to say anything. But it's hard when you love someone and you want them to participate in your life, but you're afraid to approach them. And I was having difficulties also in school, so I was between a rock and a hard place. It was difficult. So the moment I saw her actually talking to me and wanting to listen to me, I was very relieved. Very
Wow.
relieved.
Wow. And you also went to the retreat. So did you want to go, or she just pushed you to go to the retreat because she was always telling you what to do?
No, this time she really asked. She was like, we are having a retreat with the coach I've been working with. Do you want to go? And I was like, okay, let's go. But I was very interested to see what she was going through because the change was very good. It was very, very good at our side. I was actually building a relationship with my mother, and I did not know what was happening. I would like to see the source of her changes. So it was also me trying to see what was happening to her. So I wanted to see it for myself. That's why I went.
Yeah, so you went there to see for yourself, but you actually participated, all the days at the retreat you were a participant. So what came up for you there? What was your highlight of going that? I think you were the youngest person there at the retreat. And I think apart from my kids, my daughter and my nieces, you still stand as the youngest person who has attended a retreat.
Yes, but what really stood up for me is when you made me realize that a lot of choices and a lot of opinions that I had were also from my parents. And you highlighted that because I kept on saying, Mom and Dad said, Mom and Dad are saying, Mom and Dad are saying. And I realized that too, it was really a highlight for me that I have not been making choices for myself as much as I would love to. And now I've started university, I'm alone. I have to make choices for myself. I don't have time to consult them. It was a highlight for me. For since then, I've been making choices for myself bit by bit, and they only hear the after effects, and something that I'm proud of.
Okay, all right, yeah. I think that that is good. So, what can you say? What message can you say to the mothers who are here, in this community who are watching today or who are going to be watching this replay? What advice can you give them, especially in terms of relationship, how they relate with their children and how they influence the decisions that they make?
I think the most important part for me is to really communicate your change and to communicate the choices now you'll be making, because we know that you have been like this since the day we were born, and suddenly you are reflecting different attitudes and behaviors. We don't want it to be sudden. It's very important for you to communicate that change to your children, and it may actually change them too or give them a relief they've always wanted. I've always wanted a relationship with my mom, in which she's giving me. It's not perfect, but we are working on it, which is great progress.
Okay. Yeah, I think I want you to speak to a mother out there who is like your mother back then, who is that GT angry mother, control freak mother who said do this, don't do that, press that, don't press that. What advice can you say to them regarding their children?
Talk to them. Please talk to them. They want to talk to you. We love you. We depend on you. We see other children laughing with their parents, having good stories, good things to talk about with their mothers. And we really, really want that relationship with you. Please talk to us. Ask us how we are when you are coming from school. Ask us what we want to do, what we want to eat. Ask us the sports we're participating in. It's very important that you talk to them. And please don't have any speculations. Don't come with your own assumptions and anything. Just hear what we have to say, and we will be very, very fulfilled. We'll be fine.
Wow, that's a very powerful message to us, the mothers who are in this community. And I think for me, that's what I've been preaching for so many years. I shared my story because for me, unlike you, who your mother was, kind of, angry, controlling, and not giving you much space. For me, I had a mother who wasn't that, but who was not there emotionally. So we share quite a lot of things there. She wasn't there emotionally. She didn't know how to connect with us except to provide for us, the shelter, the food, and everything. But deep down, what we needed was an emotional attachment. It was a relationship. And that is why, based on that, I said, you know what, I'm going to raise my kids differently. I'm not going to raise my kids the way that my mother, raised me. I forgive her for what she did, because I think she had factors and reasons that made her, behave like that. But I'm going to be a different mother. And I set out on a journey of on a journey of really building relationships with my kids, not only my kids, even with my nieces, especially the girl child. But I'm bringing, kids on board. I'm talking to them. I'm asking them questions. I'm sharing them my stories, I'm sharing them the challenges that I go through, bringing them up so that they're open enough to engage with me, and I've seen a lot. I've seen it really work, especially after I sent my daughter to the US, at the age of 15. People was 15 when she went to the US for high school. And most people were like, why are you sending her when she's not at university? But because I had done the work. But I saw that really come out, the work that I could come out when she was there. It wasn't smooth. She had so many challenges, but she was able to, to overcome them because we were on good communication terms, she would back anything back. She would talk to me, tell me what's going on, and we could troubleshoot it. So if most parents would open up, and have a relationship with their kids, and it's never too late. Don't think it's never too late, you start where you are and start rebuilding that relationship, start mending those broken relationships, at least start creating new memories that will, those old scary memories that your child had. So thank you so much to me for really coming out.
Thank you very much.
honest and open, on that. I hope the women who are here, have learned something from you and your parents, and they will reflect upon their lives, introspect, and decide how to move forward now with this new awareness that they actually have. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. All right. I think you can bring your mom back. We have actually gone quite over our time. So we are into 30 minutes into the hour. So 1 hour, 30 minutes. So I'm gonna bring this to a close. If you have any more questions, if you have got anything, raise your hand or type it on the chat box so that we can quickly address it here. So, okay, I think before I bring you there, Wame, let me look at the comments on the chat box because there are people on the live stream with us. So let me recognize them and really get what their comments are. Okay. All right. People was saying, thank you, Mothibi. I feel the Bible is straight. For example, we have to work to earn a living. So thank you for clarifying some of these lessons. Someone say, I'm learning a lot and I'm watching with my husband. He's so much encouraged. Wow. Thank you, Lemoham, for bringing your husband, on board. Hallelujah, saying true prayer should be prayer plus intentional action is required. Yes, we need that. And okay, Kibali Mauritius from Maui say, I'm enjoying this coach. Thank you. Mara, oh, thank you. That's so inspired to hear a child talk like that about her mom. Thank you for that comment, Marang. Kibali say, I'm just emotional. Thanks to me and the family. Thanks, Hannah. You are most welcome. Kalari say, thank you so much, Coach, for this awesome interview. Indeed, it's never late to transform and grow. Yes, it's never late. So don't beat yourself up and say it's late. Okay, so thank you so much, Wame. I think you have been sitting there in the background hearing how they talked about you. How
That's good.
how does that make you feel?
Very happy, because I know that there are a lot of people who went through that, who are going through that, and who are still going through that, and also who went through that, and who really didn't have the opportunity maybe to ventilate it out. But this is the opportunity to reach another woman, to reach another child, to reach another man. This is a very great opportunity, Coach. I'm so glad, and thank you very much for the opportunity. Because we are not only, this thing, it was not only for us, it was for our nation and for other people.
Thank you. And to me, shared very honestly, did you expect that?
Yes, ma'am. Since I got in this, since I started this self-development, I'm always telling him that if there's one thing that can assist or help you to go through, it's telling the truth, telling something from your heart. I'm so happy so that you have done that.
Yeah, I want to make sure that when you leave here, you don't go and shout at her.
No, I can't. Those are the past. Those are the past.
So that is in the past. So she's not going to get in trouble for telling the truth.
No, Coach.
Okay, I think Bunolo's hand was up. So let me just bring it. Bunolo. Maybe she wants to say something there. I think Bunolo loved it because Bunolo is a presenter at Duma FM on the family, the family section. So I think this really spoke to her. Bunolo, I've unmuted you.
Hi, Coach. Hi, Game Changers. Hello, Madam Wame. Yeah, you are so right there, Coach. I just couldn't let them go. I feel like hosting this family on my show, I really would love to host them on their family show just to share this beautiful journey. I'm sitting here all emotional listening to especially Dr. Mothibi and to me. I get Wame, she started all this and she knew what she was going to do with it, and she knew what she wanted. But for them to be impacted in this manner, it's really a beautiful story. And Hutwa to me Abua that about the mother, the relationship she had always wanted, and how she can now make choices for herself. It's really beautiful. And I think this is the one thing that is lacking in most of our families. Botswana family going on. Things are swept under the carpet so much. And to an extent that whenever when they are challenged, even they feel like government is on their case with their families, how to build their families and everything. I always get people call on air and say, bana ba gompieno ba rile a ke re gore bana ba na di tshwanelo gore mente ga batle re discipline bana, and one time I just asked this caller who decides on where your children sleep, what they eat, what they dress, how they dress, the school they go to. I mean, how many times have you seen a government official and everything, and yet you feel like you don't have control over your kids and everything? And I feel like children are just, sitting there waiting to be molded. Like you, Coach, you have done so much work, that you trusted, far away from you. Everything that you had been, investing in her will definitely come out, and that was the opportunity for you to also see your investment right there. And I know whenever we talk about her, the challenges and everything about but Mama, I'm okay. I'm prepared for this. You are always proud. Like I see that on your face. And when I go, we can't even come over for what you're recently supposed to go there to do. But she was so prepared and telling you, assuring you that it's okay. I just want to, I've enjoyed, this is my best session, my best session ever. Why is it, I'm so energized. I'm seeing, I've started with the Shift community, but honestly, this is my best, like my best session.
Wow.
You know, Emma.
No, continue.
I just wanted to say, you know, I'm just thinking, you know, we lose out a lot when we are fake, when we are not authentic, and you know, and it simply means we are not representing ourselves well. It simply means we are failing ourselves. Whenever you are not the true you just miss out a lot. And as she shared her story, I'm just thinking even about myself to say, you know, because you lose out so much, you also wonder what could you have become if you were yourself, you know. So really we don't have, we really have to, the one thing that we should work hard to achieve is to be authentic. And as I was listening to her, I'm also thinking, you know, when you take, I heard her say, you know, she lost a lot of people or friends, but then she gained some valuable ones. And I'm just thinking about an accounting principle that says one transaction affects two accounts, you know, and whatever you do on the left side, you do it on the right side. So there's always that. And I've said, you know, if you ever think you don't have options, if you ever think because one side is closing, there isn't any side that is opening, you are not looking enough. So I'm happy that, you know, this is coming out, and we can also see and, you know, go in without any fear. Because we want to change and we want to interrupt ourselves. I'm going to lose out on this life. This life is not, you're not that current life, but it's anyway. So now we lose, there's really nothing you are really losing. We are just thinking what are losing. And then I'm thinking about what she said also. I had even forgotten. I remembered one Mamuruti friend of mine who used to love me so much. But you know, she loved me so much. And she's always like, because I used to call her Kalina la gagwe. But bo mama ya la batho ba batona ba mmitsa marona ba mmitsa Mamuruti. So na ke mmitsa Kalina la gagwe ebile ba tswa bana ba pheo botlhela ba ipotsa re ye ngwana ko ena ga o boyang o bitsa marona la Kalina just like that. So I so understand. I so understand. But the other thing that I learned from that, because she always wanted to spend time with me every week, because she felt like she's herself when she's with me. I realized some of these titles, they can be so heavy on us. Very dear to also develop ourselves, because when I problem, you can't be assisted or helped by anyone because of that title. So sometimes these titles are they're putting pressure on us, and I think that's where Coach Atelabu, you know what, leadership is, it's not a title, it's really who you are and how you serve your people. Otherwise, Coach, thank you so much. And now what stands out for me, lastly, is that, you know, we there's a lot that we don't have currently because we are under lockdown. Okay, there's ease of restrictions, but we've been on under lockdown. But there are so many things that we don't have right now. But so I'm realizing there are so many things that we think we need, but we actually don't. So thank you so much for that. Thank you. I'm that happy. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much. I will bye-bye. Okay, I think there are two more hands that have been raised. Let me see who that is. Okay, Komutso, yeah, Komutso is a pastor's kid. So let's get to hear. PK. Okay. Yeah, Komutso is a PK, it's a pastor's child. So let's get to hear what now the daughter. Hi, Komutso.
Hello, Coach. Hello, Mom Rudy.
Hello, my girl. How are you?
I'm good. Like yesterday when I was listening to you, I had written a comment, but it never appeared. I was like, whoo, Mamuruti. Now I've never known Mamuruti. I've known in the community there is Wame Mothibi. And I never knew she was Mamuruti, honestly. And that was just an aha moment for me to say, you know what? We cover ourselves a lot behind what we do besides who we are. And following your story, it's truly an inspiration to the Christian community. I think I could just put you to say, you are my answered prayer. You know, if a family, Yaka Mamuruti can come up like that and you know, vulnerable and share that story to others, it's truly inspirational. For me, my story, Coach, last time, a lot of people were asking me, what are you doubting? You know, they never understood. And the young girl there answered it very well. I was very happy when she came in to say, from my side, this is what I'm feeling. Most of whom Mabaruti are so pained. And we are the people who literally get that. Are trying their best. It's the best that they're doing. But it's only that it's not in the right place. So I am very grateful to say, you know, I think enough for my story, you've just clarified it. The belief system vis-a-vis the inner self and the inner person that you want to become. And I'm happy that your family came on board, and it can be true ambassadors for Christ on earth, because we are living from within. And as Christ comes in, as we meet, you know, in a bomb, to say, we know who we are and we can represent that very well. So I'm grateful for that. Just like Bonolo, I'm over the moon. And I'm very happy. Because it's like, this story is mine. It's my, you know, the truth that I know. And the freedom that I have and that I see, I can really relate. And thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much, PK's kid. I know that was the aha moment that Komutso actually attended the Renew retreat in Swakopmund last year. So for her, that's when she realized that she has just been not living, you know, her life. She has just been, you know, a duplicating of the parents and what the parents said. So it silenced her inner voice and stopped her from being her authentic self. So it's the journey she's now working on really bringing the real Komutso out and allowing her to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Komutso is also one of those few women. She's actually doing Ignite Your Spark with the husband. So they are both doing the program, and it's a journey. It's a journey that the husband is looking forward to going to the retreat. He said, when is the retreat? When is the retreat for me? And I said, no, you just need to go to a retreat. So the husband so that he can go to the retreat. So thank you very much, Komutso, for bringing that perspective.
You're welcome, Coach.
To support what Tumisang was sharing with us, you know, as a daughter of as a daughter of a pastor and a mother who you know, was not really living her authentic self. So thank you very much for sharing that. And I just want to Yeah, if you are here and you are listening and you feel like, okay, but how do I get to live that, to be my authentic self? How do I get to start this reinvention process? Actually, I think I removed the wrong person. We are, Ignite Your Spark is the signature program that I actually recommend for people who want to reinvent their lives. It has to start from there, because it really takes you from where you are and takes you through a process that helps you to deal with all of those emotions and all of these things that are going to show up. And we host that 2 times in a year. The first cohort starts in January and the next one in June. So right now we are actually opened registration for the next cohort that is in June. It's closing on the 27th of March. Normally we enroll in Ignite Your Spark by conversation. It means you need to book a session with me. I determine whether it's a good fit for you, and then that's how you enroll. So it's not one that we just advertise and say, hey, who's coming in? So we have opened a registration. If you are interested, you want to know more, if you can do it, you can comment below, or I'll share a link, a website link, where you can go through it and then type your names, and we will get your information and then schedule you for a conversation with me, so that we can determine whether that's a good fit for you or not. So you can take that step, beyond inspiration, if you have really been inspired. There are other programs that I offer, but I always recommend that people start from there, because if you want to reinvent your life, it has to be inside out. It has to be inside out, and it has to be a process, so that when people start talking about the new you and challenging you, you don't fall back quickly to the old you. So that's what I want. I just wanted to share. I will post a link there. Or you can contact Faith Makondo, who is our client care specialist. She can guide you on the next steps. Otherwise, thank you so much for your time, Wame, the Mothibi's family. Thank you everyone who stayed here throughout till the end. I appreciate your patience and your comments. And those who are on the live stream, thank you also for really engaging. We're quite engaging audience out there. So I look forward to reading some of your comments in the Facebook community and responding to them. So Wame, can you just say goodbye to the community? Hello, Wame, are you still there? Okay. If she's not there, I think she's muted. She's muted. Okay. Okay, Wame, can you just say goodbye to the community?
Okay. Thank you, Game Changers. Thank you, Coach, for the opportunity. And my last word is that every great person that you have ever known, be it in sports, be it in any field, business or otherwise, they have paid a price. I'm challenging you now. That's as you have been challenged by our story. There's a price that we paid. Now the ball is in your court. Don't take your eyes out of the ball. The ball is in your court now to take it further, to develop yourself, and to enjoy your life. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Wame. Thank you, Game Changers. Have a great weekend. We will engage with you in the Facebook community. All right. Thank you. Thank you. You are welcome. You're welcome, Tahopeng. Okay, for the sake because imagine our nation will be most of our families were impacted like that. That love and healing of the land. Very, very true. That's why I'm challenging Dr. Mothibi to start at the family level. I know the impact is so huge if you do that. Okay. Bye, game changers.